Hey friends, welcome back to another planty video. I just have a couple of repots to do. Hope you guys are having a good day. We're gonna start with this Crastophilia, I believe is what it's called. If not, I'll put the name up there. But my kids keep knocking down this plant and it has a plastic base, so it's just a little too top heavy for that planter. So I'm gonna put it in a terracotta and I'm just adding my soil and plopping her in there. This is a pretty easy repot. She just needed a heavier base to kind of hold her down and withstand the struggle of being around a bunch of kids. But yeah, so last week I did my first long form content, and let me tell you, I give props to any creator who can create videos that are longer than 30 minutes. It took so much editing. I literally recorded each day and then edited after each recording day, so I would edit at night after I was recording, and it was just so much work. So I am now grateful for whatever content I get from my YouTube faves. But here she is, all potted up. She's looking very cute in this terracotta. And then here I'm just gonna switch some stuff around. I'm gonna start by taking this dark form Scindapsus out of her pot and taking her off this pole. And surprisingly, she has a bunch of roots compared to the foliage. She just hasn't been growing that well for me. She keeps giving off runners, so I was like, what's the use of keeping her on this pole if she's just gonna keep giving me runners? So I'm gonna take her off and give the pole to this variegated Epinephrynum, because it's growing pretty well now that I have her on that stick. So I'm just gonna transfer her over. So I'm just untying the ties that I had around the pole, and then I'm just gonna put her back into the same pot. So like I said, last week was my first long form content, and sorry that this one is a little bit shorter this week. I had a little bit of fatigue going on, so the depression hit a little bit, but we're making it through the week, y'all. And I do plan on creating a video for the aphids that I'm dealing with. I'm gonna do a sulfur treatment. I mentioned that in my last video, but I want that to be its own video just in case somebody just wants to be here just for that, the treatment alone, and that way it wouldn't have to be like a repot and sulfur treatment. So that's gonna come next week since I wanted to record it separately. Now that I'm able to do long form content, I do plan on doing a plant tour soon because I have a lot of plants and I want to share them with you guys. The Scindapsus is all done. Now I'm moving forward to my Epinephrynum. I've been having this for about I feel like over a year. Most of my plants I've gotten more than a year ago. My newest plants I just took a break around pregnancy. Didn't get it, but she has good roots. I didn't get a lot of plants. I don't know, I just had, like I said, after losing my sister, I lost a lot of my motivation to get into a lot of the things that I love. So I just took a break and I just wanted to care for the ones that I had. That's all the mental capacity I had to give, aside from getting new plants. So I'm very happy because this one stood still for a while, and then recently this spring she kind of shot up. All that new growth that she has was from this year, and she was doing nothing for me for a long time. So I'm sure that she felt my vibes. I was struggling, she was struggling, we were just surviving surviving together. Okay, she's all done now, and I'm just readjusting some of the sphagnum in there. It just wasn't as condensed as I would like it to be. So I'm just removing some of the air pockets in there, and I didn't really get to do as much as I wanted to because it was dry, but once I moistened it I was able to compact it a bit more, and you'll see it later. And here is one of my Hoya Abavadas. I have two, and I'm working on like condensing my I'm working on condensing my collection, so if I have multiples, like combining them or getting rid of one. And here I'm just like, oh snap, because I felt like the pot was bigger than what I expected, and these two are not gonna fit in that pot, so I'm gonna have to put a hold on this and find a pot that will fit both of them, because I love the big Hoya Abavada that I've created, and I would rather put them together than give these away, because these were one of the first plants that I got, and I've had these for a couple years, so I definitely want to keep them in my collection. And here I am, like, super happy that there's a ladybug, and y'all cannot see it, but I was just trying to show her off. It looks so cute. I was so happy to find a ladybug in there. I haven't seen any ladybugs this season, so I was just like admiring her. Now moving on to my variegated string of hearts. It's super long. It's going down to the end of the shelf onto the floor, so I want to cut it down and keep it to where you can still see it and it's not hanging on the floor. So I just trimmed it a bit, and I'm gonna take some single nodes and some longer nodes because I do want to put it back in the pot, and I have some friends who've been asking for a cutting, so I'm going to do the single nodes for my friends and the longer nodes for myself. Ideally, I would love to find a spot in my house to like just keep it hanging by itself, but for right now, because there are some smaller kids around, my kids included, and along with my nieces and nephews, I want to keep it away from the little ones because they love to like grab onto my trailing plants, and this one is very special to me. Between this one and my micans, they're my favorite hanging plants, so I just don't want them to get ruined. My micans already takes like a big hit from them. Like, my son loves to feel on it because it has velvety leaves. My poor micans has taken one for the team, so I don't want any more of my plants taking one for the team, especially my string of hearts, because when I first got it, plants were a little bit more expensive. So like a 4-inch, no, I got this as a 6-inch plant. It wasn't hanging, but it was a full 6-inch, and that was like $60. But I just saw one at Home Depot. It was like a 4-inch hanging, and it had pretty long foliage for only like $15. So I was like, oh my god, like how low plants have gotten. So like, let this be a lesson that if you want to plant, eventually the price should go down. But I did get this like some years ago, I want to say in 2020, so like right at the height of like the plant craze. So I mean, it was worth it. I really wanted it, and it's grown so much. It's a really great grower for me. It's easy, it doesn't take much, so yeah, it was worth it at the time, but eventually if you want to plant, it will go down. And I even thought about getting the $15 basket, but I was like, no, I don't need it, I don't have the space. But it was such a good deal. It's just like, what is wrong with me? The Hispanic in me wants to buy it just because it's a good deal. So here I am putting a thin layer of sphagnum, and I'm just using a top of, you know, those to-go boxes, because I didn't need it to be that deep. The roots are pretty delicate on the string of hearts, so I don't need something that deep. So I'm just gonna keep it on here so it's easy for me to keep moist. And I am gonna put my longer cuttings in here as well, but I'm putting my shorter ones in there for right now, the single node ones. Okay, so we're all done with the variegated string of hearts. This is what they look like, cute little cuttings. And I'm just gonna repot this Hoya. My kids keep knocking down my plants.
this is yet another plant that they do not care about. But this is on the edge, so they like tend to bump into it, and because the plastic planter is not heavy enough to support it, it tends to like fall over. So I'm just putting her into this no drainage pot. I'm liking no drainage lately. It's just easier for me to stay on top of with the new baby. It's kind of hard for me to water as often as I'd like, so this just helps me out just a little bit. But she's looking so cute. I love the texture of this Hoya. It literally feels like velvet fabric, and it just feels so soft. I love it. But here are all my plants now that they're on the shelf, looking really cute, really put together. I'm so happy that I got this stuff done. But that is all. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Bye.